everyone. I wanted to take a minute to introduce myself because I haven't had a chance to do that yet. I'm Stephanie. I'm the instructor for this course. And I just wanted to draw your attention to a couple of things as we get further into this semester. The 8-week semester goes by really quickly, so you're actually almost halfway done now. And I'm sure you've noticed that there's quite a bit of work due each week because it's 16 weeks that have been condensed down into 8. But even so, one of the main things I'm trying to help facilitate during this course is the idea that writing occurs over time and that it can be broken down into steps that are manageable. So a lot of the assignments are broken down into those steps. For example, the interviews that you have to do are broken down into steps 1, 2, and 3 with 3 different deadlines. That's why I broke it down into those deadlines so you have time to do the pre-interview work. There's the interview itself, and then there's the work that comes after the interview. And that 3-step process is meant to mirror the research process more generally. Anytime you do a project, you have the preparation phase where you're doing background reading, you're trying to figure out your ideas. Then there's the actual collection of data that comes in the middle of the research process. And then after that data is collected, you then have to organize the data, you have to analyze the data, you have to incorporate it, and you have to apply it. So this whole semester, one of the main goals is to really just work through what's a 6 or 7-step process. The background reading, more specific reading, the data collection, and then those other steps that I just mentioned, the collection, analysis, integration, and application. So the interview process is kind of the beginning part, those first 3 things that we're trying to work through. And I've tried to break it down into steps that are then useful as you take that information and apply it into the autoethnography that you're going to have to write for next week. The second half of the semester, we'll go even further with incorporating academic sources and doing more of our own primary research on a grander scale, on a larger scale. But really, all of our assignments are meant to build into each other. They are step by step. So anytime you're trying to think, why am I doing one assignment? How does this connect to everything else? Try to think of everything not as separate assignments, but as things that are connecting to each other and building towards a larger goal. I've tried to make that clear. And it's one reason I think sometimes the course can be overwhelming because there's a lot of steps, but it's actually one assignment that's broken down into multiple things. So it's the interviews that are broken down into 3 steps, the autoethnography that's broken down into 4 steps. In the second half of the semester, there's a research project that's broken down into 10 or 12 steps. I mean, there's a lot of steps, but it's to actually walk you through the process because what I care about is process. I care about us taking time with things, thinking through them, being faithful, credible, reliable, critical thinkers. And so the goal of this is to help facilitate those skills. So always try to keep that in mind, that even if you aren't quite sure how this all fits together, try to see the big picture and see how it all connects together. And if you get confused on the schedule, looking at the syllabus and the full calendar where every deadline is laid out might make things more clear. Please remember you have multiple places where the assignments are listed. They're all listed in the calendar. That's in the About the Course section. They are listed at the beginning of each week. They're listed chronologically in each week. They are listed in the reminders I send out, and they are listed in Blackboard with the due dates. There may be the occasional error, which I'm happy for you to point out because it all changes every semester, but please just keep in mind that it's in all of those places to help you be able to find the information you need. If you're still confused, there are a number of resources in the course menu. If you look on that left-hand course side of the course menu, there's a section called How Do I? There's a section called Ask Questions Here. There's a section called How to Write, Cite, and Format. There's Research and Reference Help. There are a number of resources that are listed here. I'm happy for you to email me, but please look through these sources first. Further down, there's what is peer review, where to go for help. There's a lot of information there. Maybe too much information, but it is there to help you because it's an online course and you need to be able to access some of that information on your own because I can't always be immediately responding to some of the questions, though I try. So please look over all of that. I just want to say hello. Also, I just want to say, try to just keep it all in perspective. We're just trying to work on our writing here. Writing is stressful for people, but do know that I am interested in seeing how your work evolves over time. I want to see that you're engaged with each other and that you're thinking about things, but I'm not super concerned that we create some great, perfect product. So try to keep that in mind. One reason that I want you to have time to do these things, so one reason that I've only assigned for this weekend, that only assignment really is to respond to 3 of your peers' step 1 interview posts. So there's time for you to actually do those interviews. Interviews take time, and so I just wanted to make sure that you had the time to do that. Again, if you have questions, reach out. Email is the best way. Otherwise, have a great weekend.